Hello and welcome to the latest review. This one's a very special one. Without further ado, I'm going to say RTP is Starbound. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? Starbound technically is a sandbox game. It was brought to you by friends called Chucklevision. No, or no, Chucklefish even. Chucklefish the studio working on on the very first project, an extraterrestrial sandbox venture called Starbound, and this is it. Starbound, you take the role of a character who just fled from her home planet, only to crash land on another. From there, you embark on a journey to quest to survive, discover, explore, and fight your way across an infinite universe. So virtually you can play this multiplayer or single player itself, while you create a character with these species avian. There's various species of human. There's avian, which is bird. There's apex, looks like a monkey. Floran, which is a plant-type creature. Hyolitis, which looks like a clown. And Glitch, which is a robot, male and female versions of this. And various different costumes and different class given text itself. We'll go back to what we're actually talking about here. You encounter procedurally generated worlds. These are worlds made the computer just makes up, and it's different every time. Discover populated villages and abandoned temples. Explore planets dotted with dungeons, eyeball trees, and treasure. So virtually getting the opportunity to explore around space itself. You have a spaceship, you have a limited fuel supply, which allows you to travel at the speed of light to different planets. Once you've collected the resources, search your planet, you can move on to the next world itself. All people find similarities with Minecraft or Terraria. This is something taking a mixture of both and taking that leap forward. It brings out the building elements of Terraria and combat, and takes it to the next stage, mixing in these computer generated worlds, and gives it that step forward into the unknown. What we're going to do is jump into a game and show you exactly how it goes on. According to the developers itself, they took this by playing other games like Elder Scrolls or Zelda or Metroid, and they thought about it. We'll bring together a modern-based RPG from all these sort of different games joined together, and hence they've come up with this. What you're going to see in the background will be some abbreviated highlights of the game itself, while I try and show you exactly some key elements of the game and what you would get from playing it. This game at the present moment is in early pre-development. Early stage of pre-development itself, because they're working on this right now, so you're allowed to play it while they still build it up itself. It costs about 12 quid on Steam. Link will be provided at the end of this video, and generally you'll find yourself getting really caught up in the adventure. Now the way the system works is you get a life bar and a shield bar. Once you lose all your life, you're dead. You're not dead infinitesimally, because it's like Terraria and these other games like Minecraft. You come back to life. You don't lose any. There's no forfeit. You don't lose any objects. All you do is you reappear on board your spaceship in a second. This is technically how you get going. Go to the navigation drive, you click the go button, select your destination and your ship. So it's warp speed, taking you towards your destination. Eventually comes flying into orbit itself. Once your ship is in orbit, you're allowed a transporter icon which you use, and that moves you down and tells you what planet you're on. In this case, it's Alpha 70 VI R16YB. And you get this lovely generated world. Looks very nice and pretty. and normally you get a backpack full of items. At this stage of the game, I'm just showing you exactly what you get on the versions. Sometimes I just more experience. These bits here, the metal box, which is taking stuff in, is pixels, we're getting really weird. Pixels, if you collect them, and you can use the build stuff, so you have to smash them to some sort, and then you collect them from treasures, pixels can be used to do these things. So, kind of weird, so pixels actually this is I'm just walking about just to see what this was time. I didn't realise it was going to take me this day. And unfortunately the rides I'm short of myself. But anyway, it's going to dark. You appear on your ship as recloned concentrated material. They'll reclone you back out again, allow you to continue. Like this way. This time I've got my equipment down, which is a matter manipulator. Now, it sounds a bit weird, it's a magnet of sorts, yes, but allows you to interact with the environment, and this is what we call the crafting center. This can manipulate things in the background or foreground, and in this case, it's used to cut trees and manipulate these background objects. So you can cut the trees and cut the ground, it's much like a digging tool. So yeah, the LA's digging tool will be in the captain's house. So you have to get the teams first to make that. Which is a small device. It's not passes. Big Ferrari Minecraft, you know, it's going to play wood and stone, some standard dirt. But anything I collect will go into my inventory here, and I can collect, create campfire, for example. That's his place, and then drops. Come on, let's just move the cursor from one place, it will tell you which place it will drop into place. Wheel planks, crafting so many wheel planks will allow you to build other objects. Platforms, in this case, build a boat. Other things can be built, just build some more planks. If we need crafting table required, you can build more planks. Some more planks to get this crafting table. So I immediately completed a quest, and as you can place things wherever you like. There's all number keys, so the number keys kind of bind the items there, you place it and that's it. That's you got a wee step. Right. But more or less it's just a plonk in place sort of aspect where same thing you do. And if you remember like Terraria or Minecraft, all these games you do it just plonk in place. So in this case, this is a step forward than that. We've tried to bring this forward, so it's more 20th century style gaming. They've took tips from the predecessors and decided to make something a bit more advanced. So there's plenty of stuff for you to build. But the basics, you need a wheel to make clothes, for example, and a basic table that you've got here to build your basic stuff here. And there's a lot of huge list of crafting stuff. because it's pre-development, they're adding stuff in all the time. Much like Terraria and these other games, they've got a keen set of people working behind the scenes to work on these games to bring them to use with all added updates here. So several tiers of weaponry and equipment. Where things get a lot more advanced, where you can get guns, yes, and other stuff. Again, you've got hidden treasures throughout the world. You will be able to collect stuff within these generated world. There will be dungeons as well. I didn't come across any on the starter world. It was kind of basic, but probably because I didn't delve deep enough. The problem with delving deeper, that's a bit crooked. The problem with delving deeper is you need a lot of torches and flashlight power. And the flashlight I found was okay, but in terms of switch around between flashlight and torches is a bit fiddly. And the fact the monsters in this game are they're really rampant. You don't get a lot of defensive equipment or armour, so you're having to build a lot of stuff. So you're not really equipped to go until you've done a lot of mining to pick up all this stone, etc. If I built up all this stone that I can see here, if I took it all together, I could make some better equipment and would be ready to go digging in the grounds. But at this stage, I wouldn't really be able to. Being a first look at first impressions video and giving you a gist of exactly what this game's about, it's hard for me to turn around and give you later things because I would have had to play this for quite a long time to gather all this equipment together. But I'm just showing you the basics of crafting itself. All the collecting stuff. No surprises there. There is more to aspects of this game, don't worry about it. I'm going to step on to the other aspects of this game in a bit on this video. I'm just proving this bow is pretty crap. Obviously I must be doing something wrong because these arrows are just not going anywhere. Pointing out that bow is terrible. That is my hefty sword. So you see it in action a bit when I show you the fighting. But yeah, Starbound has so much potential. The music's catchy, you can get caught in this quite easily. The fact that it's multiplayer, you can play with your friends, because I have several people working together to a perfect goal. You can't say this is got any newer compared to some of the other games out there. But the fact you can go immediately jump up to a spaceship, go to a different world, and do something and have someone else to go to. And who knows what big boss battles you'll find on each of these different planets. There's so many options, so many possibilities here, that this game could be so much good. And for the fact I can't actually put a bed anywhere except on a solid surface, which would be there. But I need to actually complete the heist before I complete the bed. It's kind of really stupid. Someone didn't know the essence of recording and are just like hitting me on G-Talk. Anyway, just go, ignoring that. I'm going to move on in a sec to the next stage. Next stage will be survival. Because survival is very important. It's important to say things when it gets dark. And this is what happens when it gets dark. It gets dark after a wee short bit of time, and it goes pretty dark. As you can see here, you can barely see what's going on around you. Just like Terraria, once it gets dark, it can be quite nasty. So always best to try and work it between day and night. You can always view up to your starship when it gets night time, but that sometimes isn't practical either. So I'm gonna get used to the controls, of course. Here's where I was trying to work out how to actually cook this food here. Technically what you do is much like any, I'll show you cooking in a second. Place this gate down. I'm sure it's not happening through this window. What you do is you drag down the chops, you put them into the cooking system. You don't need any fuel for the fire, or automatically cook the objects for you. And then you've got food to eat. In this case, I've got cooked really food, and that's how you survive. You can technically cook without having the whole purpose. It's kind of stages of the quest itself. That's a basic tutorial status, so it gives you many quests to go do, and it gives you challenges to complete to help with that itself. Right, I'm going to put the gate down. Right, that's a gate. You can use a door as well, but I had a wee gate here just to prove the point. I think I had enough wood to make a door. It was a bit bigger than the gate itself. Anyway, I was going to talk about survival, so we'll just lock this bed down and we'll have a wee nap. And then we'll talk about the combat itself. The combat itself involves you. This sword is pretty rubbish, really, to be honest. The sword itself isn't very good. You get other various ones. There's a hammer I got and the bow and arrow, which I showed you. The survival aspect is either they hit you, you lose parts of your health, you'll have to get your health back or sleep. Another aspect, get your health back up. These chests, like that bigger one there, which surprisingly burnt me. I didn't quite understand that one, but yeah. But most of these chests that come up are the ones with the pixels in it, and that's how I collect the pixels here. The survival is very important. Some things won't attack you, other things like this thing will attack you. I presume things will get harder and harder constantly. There's a big feature I find comes up, and it's pretty brutal. Bigger features. That's a wee mini chest there. It's quite just switching to the next scene here. And this is where I get a unnerving surprise. A massive big feature comes up for me. Sitting on my one heart. I wasn't going to win this one. Yeah, so from survival you go to revenge because things kill you. You get a second chance and they'll still be there, so you can come back down and you can try and kill it again. You know you're quite mismatched here, and this thing was well mismatched in me. That's probably one of the hardest things I've seen on this world in the short time that I was playing it. This creature was quite playful, to say the least. It took me a while to kill him, but eventually I did. A couple more strikes with my hammer, and he was history. Trying to like hit, I think I hit me, he took a couple hits and I was dead, so I'm trying not to get hit. That's the problem. I was scared. When this thing hits you, as you see there, I just lost 2 blocks. It was a nasty hit you do. and it gave me some crummy looking spear, which wasn't really a rickety hacker. It's a crappy spear, which is not much better than the sword I've got. Right, your next step, like I said, was darkness, which is exploration. You've got flashlights, which got a limited battery in it, and you get some torches to place down when you put your flashlight away. It allows you to look through this cavern itself. Yeah, I know there's a chest up there. I already got stuff in the chest. Scheming saying, chest behind you, there's a chest. I'd been down here before. This is the end of the video, obviously. But exploration means you're going down in the dark, fighting mice, as you saw there, and allows you to collect pixels. There's always plenty of pictures down here. Pixels, like I said, for crafting and whatnot. But I like the aspect of the torch. It makes it seem like more realistic instead of like Terraria style plonking torches everywhere. The mining helmets aspect, but it made it feel more like a game. More realistic, it was more challenging because the torch was kind of really confusing. So that wasn't quite easy to propel around with a torch, to say the least. Not easy at all, as you can see here. Virtually jumping into unknown. Then turning the torch off and you plunge into darkness, so you have to make sure where you're going. At this point I made a boo-boo. You can make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. I threw the torch. So yeah, so luckily I've had some hand torches to pick up the flashlight, so that I chucked in the grounds. That flashlight is very important, so you do not chuck it down like I did. That's probably the worst thing you can do. But certainly, as you see, the torch will give you some decent light over a limited area. The rest of it, you'd have to depend on using flashlight or whatnot. Because flashlights will give you infinite light. With torches, you need coal to actually power them. So, and coal, I didn't see in plenty of supply. There is some in the park, just in the right of the stream there. Some coal in that wall itself there, but generally, as any you know about resources, until you've got quite a lot of resources, it's a plenty supply. Also, a bundle of torches will make you a campfire, which you need to cook the food. So it's all kind of linked together. So it's important. It gives coal more meaningful importance in the basics of style. It's the fact you need to cook your food and eat to keep a hold of these objects. So exploration, that's another key factor of this game itself. So you get the crafting, you get the fighting, the combat, survival, exploration, and then our next thing we're going to talk about would be the actual spaceships itself. And the spaceships itself allow you to flee your world and go to a different area. Through navigation, you're allowed to click on another world when you've got obviously fuel. You can get fuel by digging materials on the planet, so it's important that you get a hold of some fuel and then click go, and it will use its transport drive to get you to the next planetary system. There is billions and billions of options around this galaxy. In this case, there's 2 planets near to where I am. You can usually go to any of them, by a click of a button you'll immediately move and redirect towards that area. As you see here, and this is Find Random, Alpha Sector. It's a brand new planet and it's got 3 moons in it, so it tells you how much you need. You need 200 gas or fuel or some sort of power supply to get there. In this case, I've got none, so I can't really move. But yeah, so folks, this has been Starbound, and this has been DJ Royster. I like to, at this stage, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this little review of the game. So that's like, subscribe, and comment. This has been RTP Starbound.